Welcome back and welcome to our weekly edition of All Things Women in Sports. And we begin this week with some championship hockey. The Professional Women's Hockey League, or the PWHL, is in the middle of an all-Canadian Walter Cup final. And last night, the Ottawa Charge forced Game 4 with a dramatic last-minute goal. This is the best-of-5 series, and going into last night, the Montreal Victoire led 2-0. So they could have won the cup last night. The game was tied at zeros going into the third period when Montreal finally found the back of the net. But then Ottawa found their own goal and with less than a minute on the clock scored again to keep their championship dreams alive and force Game 4, which will be tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Central Time. In the WNBA, Chicago Sky star Rickea Jackson is out for the rest of the season. Today, the team announced the 25-year-old forward tore her left ACL during Sunday's win over the Minnesota Lynx. Jackson leads Chicago in scoring, and this is a huge blow to a team with mounting injuries. Chicago's Skylar Diggins has been out with an eye problem, while teammates Dejanai Carrington, Courtney Vandersloot, even Azura Stevens have all been sidelined as well. But in more positive basketball news, check this out. It's another record for Caitlin Clark. On Friday, she recorded her 11th career game with 20 points and 10 assists, which is the most in league history. And then on Sunday, Kate Martin scored her first points as a Los Angeles Spark. She had 11 points across 18 minutes after being a surprise cut by the Golden State Valkyries just before the season started. Turning to NCAA softball, Super Regionals kicks off this Thursday, and the winners of these 8 regional matchups will head on to Oklahoma City for the 2026 Women's College World Series. But get this. ESPN says this year's softball season is its most watched ever. They had more than 2 billion minutes consumed across all platforms. The season had an average of 292,000 viewers per game, which is up 79% from last year. In tennis, world number 4 Coco Gauff finished second for the second straight year in the Italian Open. She was defeated by veteran Ukrainian star Elina Svitolina, and afterward, Gauff said this gives her momentum going into the French Open, where she's defending her title. The qualifying rounds for the French Open began yesterday, and the first round kicks off this Sunday. On the soccer pitch, U.S. national team star Mallory Swanson is back. She returned to the field for the Chicago Stars this weekend for the first time since maternity leave in 2024 after winning gold. She subbed in on the 76th minute, but hinted she's just getting warmed up and there are plenty more games to come. Closer to home, we have 3 local ladies nominated for this week's Midwest Technical Institute Score Standout. And first up, it's a battle of the goalies. Nora Barnett from North Scott had 9 saves in the 0-0 draw with Pleasant Valley. And that is why PV's goalie, Andy Vanderschaff, is also nominated. She had 15 saves against North Scott. So, pull out your phones. They are joined by Evelyn Schiltz of Kewanee, who had a double, home run, and 3 RBIs. And if you scan this QR code, it'll take you to the page where you can vote for any of this week's nominees. You can also always find it on our website, WQAD.com, and you have until tomorrow at noon to cast your vote. Each week's winner is featured on Off the Cuff. Finally tonight, a story I have been waiting weeks to talk about. Legendary American sprinter Allison Felix announced this spring she's coming out of retirement, and she has her eye on competing in the 2028 Summer Olympics. Felix left the sport after winning her 11th Olympic medal in Tokyo 5 years ago, and she'll be 42 years old when she attempts to make the U.S. Olympic team for the 6th time. She's already the most decorated female track and field athlete in Olympic history. She's got 7 golds, 3 silvers, and 1 bronze, and if she qualifies, Felix will be the first American sprinter to ever make the games as an athlete in their 40s, and we'll keep you updated as she tries for it. That'll do it for this week's edition of Women in Sports.